2-day traveling on the ice. We left from Pond Inlet.
Now this is at least one view of Pond Inlet. There's the frozen water, some of the dog teams on the shore, and this is scaling up the hillside on which most of the buildings situated. This is a sign on, looks like an oil truck here. But it's just kind of a nice logo. Only the adult animals have the rings, and the immatures are white, turning to gray, and then only as they mature do they get the dark color. And this is the health center. And right next to the school is the library. Now this is obviously the post office in Pond Inlet. I was wrong. Actually, this is the post office. Wonderful! These are about 3 weeks old.
And went across the inlet and landed, or came close to land right in this area, just west of the Surmullet Glacier, which is visible from right outside the motel window here.
That's how I feel. That's why.
There's the chance of seeing some flying for like Sandy Spring. Well, I'll be going with CFD and we'll stop it. The guys are kind of always looking back as they're going along to see if any of the sleds stop for anything. If they do stop, they'll go back.
Through this. Oh dear. Jeez.
Going across the water, which is ice, of course. The other side.
Over the inlet, and his fuel line was clogged. His engine conked out.
Oh.
And he started going down, and the pilot glided in and landed on the glacier over there, on his skis. He was going up the hill. And the plane started sliding back down. but he finally had it stopped and cleaned up the fuel line, took off from the glacier, and flew back to town. And we traveled along the edge here and did some walking around the tundra up in this area where we saw the hoodoos, the big sandstone or sand sculptures. And it was in there that we saw the gyrfalcon. And then we camped just west of the outlet of the Actinate Glacier right here and did some hiking in the tundra. And then our last morning we traveled down the ice again to the area that's known as the Goose Flats and saw quite a few snow geese down here before traveling back to Pond Inlet.
This is at our lunch stop here, the other sand sculptures.
That's correct. I could just kind of pan over to get you. There he is.
The tent village. You're going to be way too hot when you go in the tent. That was luxurious sleeping on those foam pads. All right, there you go, Len.
Thank you very much.
I almost forgot the legs.
That's a good-looking honey pot there.
Well, it certainly is. And then I'm going to take a scene from as though I were sitting on it. Now this is the view, eye level, from sitting on the potty. Now these are a couple of fungi which really look more to me like droppings, but as it turns out, when you pull one up, it has a stem, and it looks like a partially desiccated fungus. And this is what one of them looks like up close. This is a lichen which is very stiff and tough, hard when you feel it. This is some ash-colored fungi which we're seeing on our morning trip. A wolf spider. this is rather large scat. This is after lunch on the 13th on our walk out toward the shore, and this has some hair in it, and the overall length is perhaps as much as 8 inches. Now this is ptarmigan droppings, and then we'll go over to droppings of the Arctic hare, which are right there. Now you can see what the ptarmigan are eating.
I can't count it.
A couple of snowy owl pellets, one of which has the incisors lying.
I didn't know any of this, you see. I just need to know.
You see that?
Mine's Helen. And they're going to San Francisco for a show.
Yes.
Please. Did they say,
When? No. What? No.
And then our second excursion went from Pond Inlet out to the flow edge. We traveled along here, went through the narrow gap between Beloil Island and Baffin Island, crossed this way, and it was right out in this area that we started running into the real heavy fog, and we camped. The flow edge was roughly out here. We camped pretty much right in this area.
Tuesday the 16th, and we're ready to go out to the ice floe, so we're waiting for everybody else to arrive. This is Moses. Now this is still in the morning, and we're on our way out to the ice edge, and we stopped in this harbor where a group of people on a ship had to spend the entire winter, and there are a couple of graves here because obviously 2 of the men had died. This is our sleds with Bylot Island in the background.
Cutting some blocks of ice. guys don't have to worry about getting stuck in the ice.
No, we know how you're always told if you're caught out in the mountains, you're supposed to burrow into the snow.
Oh, you can toss out some people to rave about it.
Good
spot.
No,
You don't know.
I doubt that.
Exactly. It really is. You've got to go in. It's beautiful.
You could tell who you were. But these, I'm gonna go in. Yours are not as okay.
Go on in. It's so fun.
Howard, how is it to get into your own igloo?
Huh?
You reflect upon the sensation of spending an hour in your own igloo?
That's all right.
Traveled inland. Bird cliffs are right in this area.
Was the roof of the cave, and now this is a little bit of the crystalline structure inside. Now this is a hole opposite the Moses hole, and this one goes to the outside. This is on the opposite side of the cave, and that's the Moses hole.
And then had lunch roughly right in here, and then came back Pond Inlet through the narrow gap again.
Marcus go?
Yes, I am. You give up so easily.
Gee, that really is.
Ptarmigan lady. Can't wait to see the result of this fall of it.
Yes. When you see the finished product, it's hard to believe it starts like this, huh?
Probably what we'll do is go through this little pass there around that island. That's kind of neat. It's a real narrow.
Go hot.
That's Mount Horizon. closely at a dog's coat like that. Was that right? Okay.
Yeah, this is Destiny of every little bear. Drop down and stuff.
I want to know, when he goes to the Mary River to pick the stone out, does he chisel it out of the face of the cliff? How does he get the material?
Nuruyano ang avit tan uyan so lokad ID kanol tema tan piltan piln piltan uyakut
inna umiman kisen guru ban pija semut nuna kanga ta iluanit tumita kisen pila susuju
nuna iluanit
kanga ne wito
in Mary River he goes up there and it's like a big, very big hill. It's chiseled since a lot of people who go up there pick out their stones. They have to go inside that place and use a crowbar to chisel them out.
Can only certain people go there?
Kaya kutuin uburne taking kaya tunne inutuin taking on nakpan yeah yes anybody can go.
Oh, anybody can go. Okay. When he has a piece and a piece of raw stone, does he envision what he's going to carve out of it, or has he made up his mind before he even looks at the stone what he's going to carve next?
Dahil uya ako titawid tan uya ako takulu kisungwang kisungwara na mga ako takukaw tiga takpi ubal ni tan uya ako tiga view tema sanangwa malak tak sanangwa tan takpi
uya pira ko Nuat itu nera kama kisian senang wang nera kama. Uya tigu ko. Taku ko ila ilang akit makau tigu siung mata. Uban nuli. Kayu masih kayak kanu jangan yang mangat.
Okay. First he'll do is go up in that cliff, pick out a few big stones, and as soon as he has enough for himself. Then he'll pick one up, then he looks at it and figures out what it's going to be. Some of them he can envision that what he's going to make out of them, and from there he starts making his carving.
What does he like to carve best?
Kasi medyo sanangwa napak tak piwin napak tak sanangwa.
Tama ko kasi kaya inungo ni makulit sana siya umiga mo ang uting mo to kaya dyan wakto ang nangoto ang mangoto imeto no tapos sana kayo rayo.
He's got 3 favorites that he likes making. There's a drum dancer, a packing lady, a woman packing a baby, and of course the polar bear.
What is this polar bear doing? Is it playing, or is it rolling over, or what?
Nanang sanang wakta bin kanoy lang kanoy matay man akit.
Uya sana sige ako pukit ko rurang man. Kaya man nakisiyan iluang naksaw mo taputay man mariksugo akit mo. Nangyakaro ako niya ako unong nga ngayon ro kay ro. Kaya man nakisiyan iluang naksaw mo taput nandangang wala.
It just had to do with something with the stone. The way it's shaped right now. If he had tried making it into a standing polar bear, the head would have been way on the bottom, and since he figured it would be best and it would look better like that, he made it into a lying down polar bear on its side.
Since most of us don't see polar bears every day, is this what, do polar bears often lie down on their side? Is the one paw moving out at us for some reason?
Nalong tako ba yung ruangin matago? Nanoy teman na yung mata, teman na siya ng wax no yo.
Aka, kasi yan, ilo akto dito makot, nanging wakto sa kong miyaro ka. Kasi yan, ilo, nangyaron na tiyang ito, teman na ilo ang masaya ka nga ta, teman na yung atitsiga yung naksawam. Nanging ako nagipok kung naksara ko yung ayaw ko.
Okay. What the polar bear is actually doing here?
He usually makes more standing polar bears, but since the shape of that carving is fixed the way it is, he prefers to make standing polar bears on their fours. But since that stone there was pretty low stone, so he had to make it shaped as a lying polar bear.
What I'm still trying to decide is, does a polar bear lie on its side? Or is it rolling over?
They're not always on their side, but they always either crouch down or laying straight on their back, or the way it is, but they're not always often like that.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Moses. And thank you for that carving.
Kaya na, amigo. Kaya na, ikaw na.